Yo, welcome back. This is Stu42 with another Minecraft episode. Bit of a delay on this episode. I'm sorry, I've been sort of sick for the last week and this is the first time I managed to log in. As you can see, we are firing up the clean room again. In the last update, we had a bunch of changes to the quest actually in 2042. We now have to go through some of this stuff which wasn't previously in here, so we finished that one. I'm going to need to make some more of the integrated processes, the MV tier. I did have some of these, but of course I made them all into HV tier ones, so don't have any of those on hand. Advanced cutting machine 2, I think I might even have one of those sitting around somewhere. What else changed, or what else do we want to do today? So we got fairly far with this last time, we just couldn't smelt it. Now that we have a blast furnace that's hot enough and has nitrogen, we can do that, so I might get that quest done and out of the way. Oh, get out of there. The other thing I did between last time, I didn't play much, but I did manage to get on and put this fourth distillation tower in here. Some interesting things in here. Some of them we're just not going to use, like CO2 we're just going to split into carbon and oxygen. Ethylene we'll definitely use, so the ethylene will make polyethylene. We have, methane I don't have a use for, carbon monoxide not really yet. Hydrogen, cool, we can probably make another tower for hydrogen, or maybe just use one of the little super tanks for that. But yeah, gradually been sorting stuff out. So today I kind of wanted to just sort out some of the little bits and pieces. Get some machines in here, maybe get a source of chlorine and fluorine, since we're going to need that if we want to get towards cetane boosted diesel. I think needs chlorine and fluorine, and then obviously just finish off a few of those quests that have appeared and are sort of now behind us in terms of progression and where we are. So I will get some machines and stuff together, and then I will be back and we'll run some cables, get some more generators, all that good stuff, and see how we go about laying it all out. See you in a bit. Alright, we are back, and I've been thinking about this a little bit, and this episode is actually going to take a little bit of a left turn, and we'll try and make it more about logistics, I think, because I've been trying to think of how we can hook this up in a decent way, and the more I think about it, the more I come back to, instead of running, well, at least for this part anyway, instead of running these sort of pipes, we should use cells around the place. It does mean we're going to have to change the way it works, because one of the things we've done over here is we've used item responder chips, which means it'll only dump empty cells into there if they're on the network already, and we're going to need to change that for a more of a stock keeper broadcaster kind of setup. And I'm also nervous about connecting all of these pipes together because unpredictable stuff is going to happen. So what I've done first of all is we have ourselves, so this is going to be the test. The test is going to be to hook this up. We've got ourselves an electrolyzer, and what we're going to need to do is, now most of the cells are happening over there. So what I'm thinking is we've got this chest over here that has a ton of empty cells in it. Oh, and it's even got an interface pipe already on it. So what we might do is, instead of an item terminator, we'll have broadcaster? Oh, we can't put a broadcaster chip in there. You can't have... What's wrong with this one? Items are blacklisted with nothing on there. Hide one per type, sure. Priority. Actually, no, this is a broadcaster. Let's pull from here. Extraction is not simulated. Right, so it just needed to be configured. Alright, so item broadcaster chip. Now, hopefully that means from here we can now check for... so I thought we'd be able to do empty cells. Empty cell. Maybe we need to... not connected. This is not connected to the rest of it. It is literally just this little section here. You know what? I am going to take the broadcaster chip. We're going to pick up this whole thing and I am going to move it closer to where we need all the cells. So let's put it over here somewhere. If we can crawl. So let's go, if we put it there, we're not going to be able to walk past. Let's put it, where are we going to put it? Let's just sit it out here in the open, actually. So we might be able to put it up here. Yeah, you know what? Let's throw it there for now. That is going to be linked up to there. So let's put scary. Green. Look at that. All right, so we can now go from there to there. Let's just move it across one. So we are going to need to put an interface pipe there. So what I'm hoping is we can have a broadcaster chip in there. We can have a, let's just say a dynamic item responder for now. Not configured. We need to configure it. Yeah, you know what? Let's make this a fairly high thing as well. So that will make sure that anything that's already in here, i.e. empty cells, still ends up going in there. Hook that back up, and what we might find now is, because of the high priority, if we turn that machine back on down there, any empty cells are going to start ending up in there instead. Right. Yes. Okay, so the next thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to, using the CO2 gas model, we are going to hit U on there. I may need to dash away and make some extra stuff. So electrolyzer, now we want the one with cells because oxygen's already set. So we need a configuration 11, empty cells can go into there and carbon dust can come out and go back over to the other side. This will be hooked up all together. So I think, you know what, yeah, I need this to be this way instead. So what I'm thinking is, instead of having all of these item responders, we can instead have the stock keeper chips, and we can have this chest being a repository for all of the empty cells that we need anywhere in the network. And then what we can do, yeah, there we go, that's probably better. And then what we can do is we can try and be a bit more clever with how we do some of the processing. I mean, instead of putting pipes on these, we can actually put, I don't have any on me, I needed to make some for a quest, but we can do the crafting interfaces. And what we can do is we can say on one of these, we can craft an empty cell for a full cell and see if that works. And that way we can say, look, we don't need to really do anything with the ethanol, but should we ever want ethanol, we can at least request it from here. And it'll send an empty cell from the chest of empty cells, put it in there, pull out the ethanol, and send us back the ethanol. And I'm hoping we can use that for a bunch of the different processes, especially around the cetane boosted diesel, because I don't really want to have all the system banked up. It'd be good to be able to craft that stuff on demand. So let's just get another junction pipe and put that there. Yes. And then go a bit more this way. This is going to be a bit of a Mickey Mouse setup for now. So we're going to go over here, over here, over here. Now what's in there? Methyl acetate. Now there's a good chance we're going to want some methyl acetate, so let's put a junction pipe at the top so that we can come down to that if we need to. And then we'll have this and this. Now what's that? Carbon monoxide I don't think we're going to need anytime soon. What is that? Hydrogen we may need. Look, I tell you what, we'll replace it later on if we need. So let's just, for now, go like that. We are going to need a interface pipe. Interface pipe is going to be there. This is going to be an extractor. Yep, item extractor should be able to just be on there. Interesting, this seems to be items are whitelisted. If we change it to blacklisted and there's nothing blacklisted, it should extract everything. Yes. Yep, it seems to need to have everything configured now. All right, I'm going to need to grab some pipes for this because we are going to pipe the CO2 gas just to there, and I'm going to need to get a circuit. I will be back in just a second, and we'll see how well this is working. We'll also start that up. I might actually make some more stock keeper chips as well. And as someone said on the comment section, we may be able to fix this up using a screwdriver. So what we can do, in fact, let's just try that now very, very quickly. If we set the output side to the top, and then we right click with that. Yeah, input from output side allowed, fantastic. So we can now go output side to the top, input from output side allowed, which means we no longer need the extractors from the bottom. And we can hit that out of the way and grab ourselves just a regular pipe. Awesome. And then if we set this to be item auto output, that'll auto output the top, and we'll still be able to entrance item auto output. Sure. Cool. All right, that is going to be a much better way of doing things. Awesome. All right, let me go and make some more stock keeper chips and bits and pieces, and we'll come back and see if we can't get this whole thing working, but instead using a cell chest to do stuff. And we might also, yeah, we can probably also do it with this stuff as well. The canner and the methanol cell. What are we doing with that? Are we doing a stock keeper? Item extractor. It's just outputting straight to there. This one here, on the other hand, is, yeah, responder. So we're going to need a bunch of stock keeper chips. All right, let me make a bunch of those, and I'll be back in just a sec. Okie dokie, just grabbing the last circuit 11 that I need for this. We need to put that in there. We need to have this hooked up. Hurrah! Okay, so now we're going to need some empty cells for that. So I made a ton. I made a ton of these. Made another 8 of stock keepers. I haven't made any more of the crafting ones yet. I do have a couple over there in the chest from a quest ages ago. So what we're going to need to do here is we have ourselves an item extractor, but we're also going to need to have a stock keeper that keeps. Refill when items are missing. Well, no. We need right click, left click. 2 left clicks gets up to 2. Awesome. So 2 of those. That is there for whatever it is, whichever slot it goes in. I think if we go there, advertising, yay, there we go. There's some empties. Empties goes in. This gets processed. 2 come back in. Right, so the carbon dust is not going out because it's got no destination. However, the oxygen does have destination. It is going to here. I think I did actually see it come in. So that's 460,800. Oh yeah, there we go. Awesome. Cool. So that works really, really well. Now, we should be able to hook this one and this one up. Now what I might do is, now this is where it gets a little bit awkward because we kind of, yeah, we got to be really, really careful here. So this is an item responder chip that says dump in the glycerol. This is an item responder chip. Now this is the one that's special because this says put an empty cell in there. Preference 0. Now we don't actually want this to be preference 0. We kind of want a stock keeper chip in here as well. So the problem that we have with doing a stock keeper chip here is it's gonna be banked up, and this is where stuff goes a bit freaking crazy. So what we're gonna need to do is we'll have one there, there. Yep, so stock keeper will keep one in there, but the problem is it's going to get processed straight away and go across to here. Across to here is going to get full of 64. This one here is going to have 64. In fact, there's going to be 64 here and 64 here. So this thing is potentially going to tie up. Yeah, this thing's going to potentially tie up a lot more stuff. You know what? I don't know if we do want this one to be connected. This, yeah, we might have to solve this, because otherwise we're going to have 3 stacks of cells stuck in there. So let's not hook that one up. However, this thing here connects all the way over to here, which connects up to... Right, so that doesn't connect to this. And this one... Oh, it does. So hold on. There's just no destination for the carbon. Alright. So over here, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to add some stuff for the carbon dust. So what we're probably going to want to do... Yeah. So what we want to do is we actually want to grab this chest and put a dynamic item responder on it, which means we need to move the chest to somewhere else. Our storage is starting to become a little bit awkward. Alright, so let me think about this. I might need to rearrange some of these chests somewhere. Either that, or we might just need to put these chests down the other end, since they are dusts. Yeah, they are dusts. Alright, let me go away and have a think about it. I will also make a couple more. Here they are, the item crafting chips. We may need a couple more of those. Let me have a quick think about it to see if that's what we need to do, and we'll find a way of automating the rest of this and putting that chest somewhere useful. We will need to... Yeah, I'll also need to swap out all of these. So what we'll do is we'll change that from an item responder through to a stock keeper that says just keep... I don't know, probably only need 1 in there. This thing here, yeah, we'll swap all of these out to be whatever they are supposed to be. And I'll be back in a sec again once I've changed these all to stock keepers, and we will, yeah, I'll figure out what I'm doing with that chest. All right, I'll see you back in just a second. All right, so I decided what we're gonna do is we're gonna take away our cauldron and anvil from there. We'll put them down somewhere else later on. Let's just throw them in here for now. And we are going to grab this one here, throw it down there, put ourselves a interface pipe. Ta-da! We are going to have ourselves a dynamic item responder, which, crap, I'm going to need to make some more of those. Matching meta MBT, actually we need to have that. This is our preferred spot for all the things that are in there, so let's make that 10 as well. Throw that over there. Now we want... Dun, dun, dun. I just wanted it to line up with, with the pillar there. Cool, so item responder, that is there. We've put one of those in there, that will do that. Now hopefully this will connect all the way over to the other side and link up for the carbon. So what do we got? Where's carbon? There we go. So 64, 64 and 49. There we go, 64, 64 and 49. I'm now hoping from all the way over the other side, we are gonna have a bunch of carbon come flying over. Hey look, that looks like it might be carbon. Dun dun dun. Wahoo! It works, it works! Awesome, quite a bit of carbon too. Alright, so we've got a nice good source of carbon there. Now, what we can do is we can also put a, I don't have any more of those either, but we can put ourselves a broadcaster chip on there as well so that we can get any of those materials back out if we need to. That is good for that. Yeah, we won't be able to request just yet. Now I decided, yeah, this thing here is gonna have to wait. Might be an isolated system. I also figured out over here we don't actually want these to be stock keepers. We want these to be responders because these are spitting things out. So if we've set this to automatically output an item, it's just going to be spat out on the thing, which means stock keeper's kind of useless to us. We need the responder chip. So we've got responder there, extractor there. We've got a responder here for this one. It'll extract out once there's 53 of those, and also likewise the responder, because it's the only destination that we want for, you know, the argon and the noble gases. But what we're also doing is this is the one we need to change for a stock keeper chip, because it's where it all begins, and it has 25 of those. So for example, if we, well actually we could just take those 25 out, it should then go, hey, I need some blank cells. And hopefully pull one. Da-da-da. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so what we can do there is we can turn that thing back on. That's gonna call it. How long is it gonna take to get another one? Oh yeah. Item auto output. Right, so the auto output is not working. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So, what is wrong with that? So we have right-click this. Input from output side forbidden. Input from output side allowed. Yeah, so input is working, but output is now not working. You know what? We might need these extractors after all on there. The auto output may just not work when plugged into a pipe. There's slight issues with that. So items are listed. If we just go blacklisted and go, you know what? We want to pull everything out of there. Is that going to pull everything out? Yeah, that's just so weird. Why will that not work? There's got to be a solution for this. It just doesn't want to extract. Even if we choose the side. So what's the other side of that? That is the south side. So if we go, we want to simulate. Yes, that's items are blacklisted. Nothing is blacklisted. We could potentially just whitelist everything. So let's extract from the south. Oh. Yeah, okay. Dum. Let's turn all the auto outputs off for that. We want that to be there. Cool. Now, what happens if we turn this on? Hurrah! So if we extract to the south, don't have it turned on. Yeah, okay. So we're going to need to go on the back. This thing is not set to auto output, but we can have one of these set to south side blacklist. Put it in there. 31. So once that reaches 53, that should process. Yeah, so this is all working great. Awesome. And we can still stop it just by stopping that one there when we get too many. I haven't got a decent way of stopping that yet. The only reason I've stopped it is because it'll just keep going forever, and I don't really want to use power up on that when we've got, you know, there's tons of nitrogen. Oxygen we're going to get quite a bit more of now that we have this thing going. Awesome. No CO2, no CO2 there. How much of this have we got? 2.9. Yeah, okay, so we can turn that back on again. That will start going. That'll start getting that and that and that and all this stuff going. If we wait just a moment, we should get a green over there first. Dun dun dun. Come on. Green, there we go, green. And that sort of cascades through depending on how much gas it actually makes. I can't remember which one goes first, whether it's this one or that one. Ah, that one goes, yep, green and green and green. And then this should go once we get some CO2. There we go, green for there. We have how much? Not enough. Not enough. I'm guessing it's half a bucket, potentially. But you know, we've got our 2 empty cells there now. This thing is going. It's going again, and we should get 1,000. There we go. Awesome, so that's all running just fine. This thing is running. Let's go back over here and see how many we've got to. Oh, look at that, 53, perfect timing. So once this finishes, we should, oh, look at all the stuff flying around, that's amazing. So what we can do now, because we're using broadcasting, is we can do this on a whole bunch of other places as well, whatever we want to do, really. Awesome. All extracted. Stuff goes to there. Yep, stuff goes out. All the empties go back out. Now, as far as I'm aware, all the empties should be just going in and out of here. And that's amazing. We can just keep tons of empty cells in here. You know, we've got so many of these. We could probably suffer having 3 stacks of them chewed up over here. We'll see how we go. I'm a bit worried when we get the nitric acid stuff and all the bits and pieces going for the tetranitromethane for cetane boosted diesel that we're gonna tie up cells there as well. So let me think a bit more on that. All right, let me get a bunch of the crafting ones together. I want to make another request pipe as well, so we can do requests from over the side, and then we'll see if we can't get this working the way I envision it working. Gotta love Stu's way of doing videos. I have researched this not at all. I have no idea if this is going to work. I'm just sort of hoping that you can attach a crafting pipe to here and it'll automatically do what we need to do. Anyway, I'll be back in just a bit with a couple more pieces and we'll see if we can get this thing working. Alrighty, we have some bits and pieces. So let's go for, yeah, some of this. So let's go here. Now what we're going to do is let's use the acetone one because I'm going to want acetone at some point. So we're going to want interface pipe there. Take that off, and that off. You know what? That off as well. That off as well. Methyl acetate. Let's just put an interface pipe on there also. And then we'll put the item pipe on there, and I didn't really think this out before we put all these on. Awesome. So we are going to want to put, we're going to need an empty cell. Now I have not done this before, so let's make ourselves some steps. So on here, I'm sorry if this is a bit dark, we're up near the top where there isn't really any, let's do that. There's some light. So let's have some light, and we need one of our 2 crafting chips. So what we want to do is we want to say, oh, you can have extensions, cool. Matrix, match options, preference. I don't know what this is. All right, so we have an empty cell. Goes to an acetone cell. So we have matrix. Empty cell goes to acetone. Sure. Match options. Sure. I'm guessing that's where in the crafting grid it's going to go. I don't know why. There's 2 different ones. Extensions. Oh, cool. So this is where you can assign crafting extensions for things like if you need to cook something, you can have an extension also put coal in, I think. Although it's the same machine, so you probably wouldn't need that. Yeah, maybe if you use this for an EBF, you could have an extension in the fluid input for cells, so that when you crafted something using nitrogen, you could have the extension needing nitrogen and another extension needing oxygen, so it would put all the right things in. Maybe, although I can't see this as being able to craft several things. It's basically you craft one thing and one thing only, but you could have multiple crafting chips in the same pipe. So yeah, that kind of works. All right, crafting chip in there. We now need ourselves our request pipe. Yep, I do have one. You know what? Let's put the request pipe on here. Because we can. All right, so now we want to look for acetate. Yes, acetone, sorry. If we want one of those and we want to request pull craft, do I double click? Do I single click? Submit. Requested one of the item. Ah. Awesome. All right, that is really, really cool, because what we can do is we can potentially, can we put the acetone back in? No, we can't put the acetone back in, but that is awesome. That means we can do this with crafting. So we can have crafting on all of these different things. Now, the reason that I wanted to use acetone is because if we hit U on acetone, you chuck acetone into a, not a heater, or distillery or a heater. Distillery looks like, yeah, exactly the same, but let's throw it in a distillery. We get ethanone out the other side, and if you use ethanone and combine it with nitric acid that I was mentioning before, you get tetranitromethane, which, as we've previously said, you can mix with biodiesel to get cetane boosted diesel. Cool, so we're on our way to doing that. We just need to figure out how we're going to do the nitric acid. But given that we've got a ton of nitrogen now, yeah, water and nitrogen dioxide. So water's really easy to get, except we want the one that doesn't produce byproducts. So that one probably. Now, oxygen cells. This is where we're going to need to figure out how we can get oxygen cells back out of the tank. So I'm going to need to figure that out between this time and next time, because I don't think I've got time to do this episode on here. And nitrogen dioxide is made with oxygen and nitric oxide, or oxygen and nitric oxide, oxygen and nitric oxide. Yeah, you need to go via nitric oxide first. Wow. And nitric oxide is made oxygen and ammonia. Yeah, there's gonna be hopefully an easier way to make it other than with ammonia, because I don't really want to have to make ammonia. I was sort of hoping we could just, oh, we need the hydrogens in there. Yeah, nitrogen dioxide with water. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think a bit about that. We may have to do it via ammonia. Ammonia being nitrogen and hydrogen. We don't really have a decent source for hydrogen just yet. Fermented biomass. A little bit. Yeah, we might have to get a different source of hydrogen before we take a look at that. All right, in the meantime, in terms of this episode, I know it's been not a super long episode, and it has been a while since my last episode, but I think I'm going to end that there just because I want to get this episode out, and hopefully I will find time in the next week to make the next episode. Apologies again if there's a bit of a gap between episodes, but yeah, as I said, real life has just kind of been kicking my ass a bit recently. Yeah, all right, so as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.